Welcome, class. Today's physics assignment, you'll be learning basic physics, but this is no ordinary physics because you're going to learn the physics that makes up Formula One.
So, what exactly is Formula One?
Formula One is the highest level of kart racing where teams build extremely fast, lightweight cars designed for maximum speed and cornering. The cars use powerful engines and advanced aerodynamics, shapes that push the car down onto the track to help them turn quickly and stay stable. Drivers race on different tracks around the world, competing to finish the most laps the fastest. Each team constantly improves their car using engineering, physics, and strategy, making F1 a mix of speed, skill, and high-tech innovation.
Hey, over here. Alright, so for this video, we'll teach you three different concepts: drag, lift, and downforce, and everyone knows Newton's third law.
Hello. Today we'll be talking about drag, also known as air resistance. Here we have three different objects. If you start with the square, it has the highest resistance due to the sharp corners that they go around. Then when you move on to the next shape, triangle, there is less air resistance that it has, or less resistance that has to go against because it is a smoother shape than the square. Once you come on to the final shape, the circle, it will have the least amount of resistance against drag because the shape is smooth and it just flows right along it. When we come to our final example, the F1 car, the car is designed to have the least amount of air resistance they can have, therefore the smooth edges. The less air resistance it has, the faster the car will go. And at faster speeds, it will generate more downforce, causing the car to stay on track.
So let's talk about lift and downforce. Well, they're two separate ways that, in things such as aerodynamics, they work separately. Lift, when a car is driving and they're experiencing heavy amounts of air resistance. Lift is when the air goes under the car and lifts it. Usually, you would want vehicles such as airplanes and stuff like that to create lift. It allows them to fly. While downforce is when the air pushes the car down by flowing over the car, and based off the shape and way the car is built, it would push the car down. Usually, F1 cars focus on downforce as it gives them more traction and allows them to drive much easier on the road, as lift would be worse, because lift would keep them unbalanced and would have them fly off the road if going too fast.
Hey there. So, as we walk towards the board over here, we can see Newton's third law that states for every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction. So, here I have a tennis ball, okay? So, when I drop the tennis ball, it should bounce back because it gives off that opposite reaction, of course. Now, we can demonstrate this with F1. If air is pushing upwards, the air pushing upwards would cause the car, or the F1 in this case, to go downwards. And that clearly demonstrates that with air, with the air pushing upwards, it brings the car downwards, giving it the opposite reaction.
So after learning all these concepts, how can we put it into reality? Well, we can't buy an F1 car, so we're going to use this. This is LIRT. LIRT is a wind tunnel. Wind tunnels are usually made for either car companies or people who create planes or even rockets. What it does is it simulates airflow enough that you're moving at a super fast speed, and it'll tell you the air resistance and the overall aerodynamics of how it basically moves. Now let's look at the examples we have.
Okay, so here we have three different cars. First one being a Ferrari F40, Mustang GT500, and obviously a F1 car.
So today, our first example is going to be the downforce of the cars.
First, we'll start with the Mustang, the more bulky design car. First, we'll open up LERT and we'll put them on the scale. This scale is supposed to find the downforce, basically how much more weight it adds onto the car as it's moving. So we'll turn it on, close the door, and we'll be measuring it in grams. So the car itself weighs about 176 grams total. Now, we'll put the car in LERT and we'll turn it on max speed. As you can see, it's not really making much of a difference. That's because the design is so bulky, it doesn't allow much downforce to be put onto the car. So we'll turn this on, and what you look at that. We have 8 grams of downforce. That means that on the original weight, it adds 8 grams more, which is exactly how downforce works.
So, for our next car, we have a Ferrari F40. Now, when we place it on the scale, it weighs approximately 168 grams. Putting it on the scale obviously puts it down to 0. If we turn on these two fans, we can see that it applies a little bit more than the Mustang just because it has more aerodynamics, I guess you could say, for the car. It's less bulky and obviously air flows a bit better through the car. That's why it's better than 8 grams to 12.
Now we come to our final car, the F1. When we look at the weight, it starts at 134 grams, and then we will go and put it on. And then we would turn the fans on. Turn. And as you see, due to the slimmer shape, the downforce is higher. And as it slowly climbs up, we see it at 14 right now compared to the 12 last time. That is because the F1 car has a slimmer shape and allows for more downforce to push through. So, when we see a final weight of 140 grams.
If any of you are the
So, after we found the downforce of each car, as you can see, the different shape allows for more downforce from the air resistance that LERT has created. Now, we're going to find the true aerodynamics of the shape of each car.